Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my spoken word review of Sea of Thieves. This is a game that I just played 3 days straight live on stream on Twitch TV. Upwards of 10 or more hours of solid gameplay. I played it both with a full party twice. So twice I had a full party of 4 people. And then this last session, I actually opted to play the game for about 3 hours solo, so I could get the experience of what exactly it is to actually be a solo sailor in this game, and the differences between that and kind of piloting your own ship. A lot of people have been saying a lot of things about Sea of Thieves. First of all, you may have noticed that Sea of Thieves, for some reason, has an incredibly large viewership on Twitch TV right now. Like, it's huge, and all the big streamers are covering it and everything. And some people are saying, well, then by default, it must be a great game. If all the big Twitch streamers are playing it, it must mean that it's an amazing game, right? On the flip side of that, you may have heard some people coming out and saying some things about the game that don't seem to jive with that. For example, some people are calling this No Man's Sea. If you're not aware, that's a jab at the game, kind of referring to No Man's Sky from 2 years ago. This game that was supposed to be revolutionary. It would change the face of gaming. You roam through this open world universe, an infinite amount of, randomly, what was it? Some kind of a formula that would generate random planets. They would all be different. You have infinite amounts of different wildlife and fauna and flora that you would always encounter throughout the galaxy. It's going to be the best game ever. And when No Man's Sky released, after everyone playing it for about 10 hours, we all said, this is the most boring game we've ever played. There's really no purpose to the game. You can't build your own base. You can't build your own ship. The only purpose to currency is kind of maybe buying a spaceship that's a little bit faster. There was no real end game content. There was no real goal to the game besides trying to reach the middle of the universe, which, by the way, just reset the whole game completely. Every single space station looked exactly the same. All the aliens acted and looked the same. There was pretty much almost nothing to do in the game. And after playing it for about 10 hours, everyone got bored with it. The game got critically panned, and completely ripped apart. Now, over the course of the past 2 years, the developers of No Man's Sky have added in tons of new content. They fixed the physics, they made it so you could build your own bases, but sadly, ladies and gentlemen, in the realm of gaming, much like the realm of any kind of entertainment, first impressions are everything. And so the vast majority of people who played No Man's Sky at launch hated the game, said we will never play this again, and the game is still, 2 years later, despite all its improvements, a running joke among the mainstream gaming community. And so, when Sea of Thieves was massively hyped for the past 2+ years by Microsoft. Microsoft exclusive IP, a game that's going to blow it out of the water. It's going to be so different. A cool pirate simulator where you can team up with your friends, 4-player full co-op. You can, raid other ships. You can fight skeleton ghosts. You can, catch different animals and trade them in for merchant guild coin and credit within guilds. And you can basically, it's a whole pirate simulator. You can drink grog with your friends and you can dance and learn how to pirate a real pirate ship in a more immersive way than ever before in any other video game. On paper, all that sounds good, right? But it's all in the execution. And for 4 years, Rare has been working on Sea of Thieves. Microsoft has heavily promoted and pushed it. Microsoft this year in particular is acting like Sea of Thieves is their big exclusive Microsoft IP. If you want to play the best Microsoft game of the year, you've got to play Sea of Thieves. You go to Xbox.com right now. It's the whole main page is a Sea of Thieves ad. They're all over it. They want you to play it, right? But the question is, does it live up to the hype? Or is it another game like No Man's Sky where there was all this hype for 2+ years, and when the game finally comes out and releases, it fizzles, all right? Well, let's talk. First of all, No Man's Sky. At its face value, what is it? It's a game where you're going to be piloting a ship a lot. So you better learn how to pilot a pirate ship. Now, unlike other games where you pilot a ship, it's not easy. In fact, it's very complex. It's the most complex sailing mechanics I've ever done. Keep in mind, I haven't played many games with sailing in it. But you have mechanics such as not only just turning the rudder of the ship to go left, right, north, south, whatever, but you've got a sail that you can unfurl to go full speed, go at half, so you go half speed, or all the way up, so basically you come to kind of a stop. You can change the angle of the sail to aim with the wind to make your ship go faster or slower. Then you've got the anchor, which is equally important. If the anchor's down, your ship will come to a dead stop. Pulling up the anchor allows it to start moving forward. Now, the thing is, it's pretty hard to do all these things by yourself. As someone who did it both solo And with a crew, I could fully tell you doing it with a full crew is a lot easier. You can have someone manning the sails and kind of figuring stuff out. One person who's in charge of the anchor and the sails, while the other person maybe is steering the ship. And then you can actually have someone go up into the crow's nest of the mast and navigate with the what do they call it? The spyglass, and tell you what direction to go. Because the thing is, when you're behind the wheel of the ship, the masts and the sails actually block your vision. So a lot of the times you can't even see if you're going in the right direction, or if you may be running into ground or a rock or something randomly out at sea. You need actually someone kind of navigating for you. So having a crew makes it incredibly simple. However, if you do play it by yourself, it is possible, but it is a lot more difficult to try to micromanage everything at once. If your ship hits something, you get a hole in the ship. And now you need to use a plank, which is one of the 3 items in the game that you can actually use for anything useful, in order to repair the holes in your ship before your ship starts to fill with water. If your ship starts to fill with water, you can use a bucket to bail out the water out of the ship. Okay, much like in real life. Of course, it's much simpler. Your whole bottom floor of your ship could be filled with water. Take a bucket, fill it up twice, 3 times, throw it out, and your ship's empty. It's like, wow, those are the biggest buckets I've ever seen. But it's cool. It's like micromanagement, total micromanagement when you're on the 7 seas. It's not just about sailing from point A to point B. It's about making sure your ship is in tip-top shape, going the right direction. Don't run aground. Don't run into rocks or anything that may be in the way. Maybe stopping on a dime because you find a shipwreck and you want to jump out and dive in the shipwreck and search it for loot or whatever. Another mechanic is health. Health in the game. You're going to take damage from various things. Maybe people will attack you by shooting you with guns or cannonballs. Maybe you'll go to try to do questing. You get bit by a snake, or you're fighting some skeletons and they hit you or whatever, or shoot you. So you do have to maintain your health. Your health is maintained via eating bananas, which is the second item in the game that does anything. And then the third and final item that does anything is the cannonballs. They're used only for shooting cannons. So cannons are on your ship. You can use those to attack other enemy ships, or to attack things aground. Like maybe you come up an island full of skeletons. You just use cannonballs to snipe them from your ship. Or maybe you're coming up on a big skeleton stronghold fortress and they've got these turrets that are shooting at you. You could shoot back and try to take them out with your own cannonballs, okay? So cannonballs are the third item. That's it, and I'm not exaggerating here. There's only 3 items in the whole game right now. That's it. If you go onto an island and there's, barrels or crates, all you can find are bananas, cannonballs, and planks. That's it. There's nothing else. I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm not exaggerating. That's the truth. There's only 3 items that you can use for things in the game. Now, there are other things you can do in the game. Questing. So it's not just about going randomly from island to island and, sailing around like a pirate. There's 3 guilds in the game. There's the Gold Hoarders Guild, the Merchants Guild, and the Mystics Guild. Each guild will assign you certain kinds of quests, so you actually have something to do in this big open seafaring world. The Merchants Guild is all about delivering goods. They're going to tell you, go find some pigs or find some chickens, put them in a this coop that we're going to give you, and then deliver it to another island for money, okay, or for prestige among that guild. The Mystics Guild is all about combat. They're going to send you off on combat missions where you're going to go to islands and fight skeletons. Hordes and hordes of skeletons, of which there are different types. So let me go into elaboration. There's melee type skeletons where all you do is you wail on them and they die, and all they do is try to hit you physically and they die. There's skeletons that have guns, so they try to shoot you from range. And let me tell you, it's pretty annoying in this game because a lot of the skeletons have almost psychic auto aim where they may just be, you're dodging, you're trying to like sidestep or whatever, strafe around them. They still hit you anyway. You have to basically bum rush them and kill them before they can hurt you or kill you. Or there are other more powered up kinds of skeletons. There's skeletons made of metal or covered in mud where you have to actually get a bucket full of water and throw it on them to weaken their bodies. Then you have to shoot them with a gun to kill them. There's also the Revenant style, which you have to have a lantern. You pull it out of your inventory and lift it up and it stuns them, and now they can be hurt. If you don't do that, they're invincible. And then after you kill a certain amount of skeletons, eventually a boss skeleton will show up, which is basically a more powerful version of a regular skeleton. They do a little bit more damage and they have more health. But in general, combat in this game is incredibly simple. All you do is take out your sword and go like this. Swing, 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 swing until everything is dead. Now you can block, but block only works against melee attacks. It doesn't work against ranged gunfire. Or you could do a charging attack by holding forward and pressing the trigger, and or by pressing the button on PC, depending on what you're playing on. That attack moves you forward as a lunge, and it does extra damage, but it leaves you wide open afterward. So if you're fighting a group of skeletons and you do it, you may kill one, and then the other 3 come wail on you. It doesn't work. So really, in essence, the best melee attack is just mashing on trigger like an idiot. It's pretty simplified. There is ranged combat with the gun, but you can only carry 5 ammo at a time. So if you're being swarmed by skeletons, you better make use of your ammo real quick, or you better search around and see if there's like an ammo crate around that you can use, because if there's not, you're going to run out of ammo and you're going to get screwed, okay? But the gunplay fairly simple. Aim, fire, reload. Aim, fire. And yes, there's a handgun, a blunderbuss, which is basically a shotgun, and a sniper rifle. Yes, they do have a slightly different use, but it's not a wide variety of gameplay. In essence, you have 3 kinds of guns and a sword, and that's all you get in the game ever. Ever. You never get anything else. No matter how many quests you do, you always have the exact same loadout, no matter what, okay? So that's the combat style mission. So what you're supposed to do is go to an island full of skeletons, chop them up. When you finally kill the boss skeleton, their skull will drop to the ground. You pick it up, and that's your token that you're going to go redeem at the Mystic Guild to get money and also to get guild credit, okay? The third kind of mission is for the gold hoarders. It's treasure hunting. And what happens is they give you a treasure map. You go out with your ship. You have to find that island that's on your treasure map among your big world map on your ship. Sail to it, and then X marks the spot. There'll be an X on your map. You got to dig up the chest. If you find the chest, sometimes skeletons will spawn, so now you got to defend the chest by fighting the skeletons. Eventually, you grab the chest, you throw it on your boat. Can you open the chest for cool loot? No, of course not. Instead, you just take that generic NPC, generic generated chest, and take it to the NPC gold hoarder and trade it in, you guessed it, for gold and guild credit, and that's it. So 3 kinds of quests in the game. Gather, random items like chickens, pigs, or gunpowder barrels and bring them to the merchant. Fight skeletons, get their severed heads, bring them to the mystic. Or find buried treasure and bring it to the gold hoarder. That is all there is to do in Sea of Thieves. Now, there's a variation. There's a variation where you're going to every once in a while run up on what's called a stronghold, which is an island completely inhabited by skeletons, and above the island there is a mysterious and ominous skull cloud that's above it with glowing eyes. If you go into that, the skeletons are going to be on turrets and attacking you. It's your job to attack the turrets, storm the island, and kill, no exaggeration, about 12 or more waves of repetitive skeletons. Once you get through that, there's a final big boss fight. If you survive that, that boss will drop a token that will open a door. And when you open that door, there's a ton of loot, like 10 chests to trade into the gold hoarder, a bunch of skeleton skulls to trade in, as well as maybe some trinkets or whatever to trade in. So a lot of stuff to trade in for the end of that mission. But outside of everything I've described, the only other thing to do is the Kraken. Now, I never found the Kraken in the game, but apparently from what people are saying, you just sail out to an open area to see where there's not a lot, and sometimes the water will start to get inky and dark, and then all of a sudden these Kraken tentacles will come up and try to attack your boat, and it's your job to get on the cannons and shoot them. If you shoot them successfully, you beat the Kraken. Congratulations. If you don't, well, then you die. All right? And that's it. That's all of the content of Sea of Thieves. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. Everything that I'm saying right now is all that there is in the game. Okay? Now, if you die, one of 2 things happens. If you physically die, if you take so much damage from a skeleton or whatever, you go to this afterlife boat. It looks like a ghost ship. You stand there for about 30 seconds. Then a door opens, and then you just walk through it, and you go back to wherever you were. There's no detriment. You don't lose gold. You don't lose any items, okay, to dying. Kind of weird, because, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. I was storming a stronghold with a team of people, and when I stormed it, we were kept dying, but we just would run right back onto the island after we respawned and fought them again. There was literally no detriment to ever dying. So we were all kind of scratching our heads like, why is there no penalty? It's kind of so easy. What's the point of this mechanic of dying and then respawning if nothing happens? You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, oh, you lose energy, you lose money, you lose guild credit. No, you just respawn, get right the fuck back in there. It's almost like easy mode gameplay, in my opinion. Now, the one thing that can happen to you is if you have a ship loaded with loot. Maybe you found a bunch of chests, a bunch of skulls, a bunch of stuff, and then your ship sinks, which can happen in multiple ways. Number 1, as I mentioned, if you accidentally pilot your ship into a rocker and run it aground, you'll get holes in the ship you got to patch up and bail the water out, okay? Number 2, someone could attack your ship. Someone could come in with their own ship with cannons, attack it, and sink your ship. Or number 3, and I learned this one the hard way, your ship could sink during a storm, because apparently during a heavy storm, your ship will just naturally start to fill with water, and if you don't bail the water out, your ship will just sink. So if that happens, your ship will disappear, and in place of your ship, there will be a mermaid or merman And if you touch them, basically you'll spawn on your ship and your ship will have been teleported somewhere else. The problem is all of the quest items you had, animals or collectibles for the merchant, chests for the gold hoarder, or skulls from killing skeletons, they disappear and you lost them all. So you could spend 5 hours questing and then your ship sinks and you're screwed. You lose everything you've done. All your progress is gone. Ain't that a bitch, right? So you got to be very careful to never let your ship sink. Outside of everything I just mentioned, what's the good and what's the bad? All right. The good stuff about the game, graphics are okay. They're kind of cartoony. They went for almost an Overwatch or Team Fortress 2 kind of look. The water graphics are really good. Some of the best in a modern game. And the sailing, I would actually say the sailing itself, when you're on the sea and you see the water going up and down and you're actually actively working with your crew, telling them, yelling out orders, oh, you batten down the hatches, you patch up the holes, you pull up the sails, we got to go due east, and you're doing all this stuff. And navigators seeing, hook left, there's a rock coming up. It could really be an interesting premise for a cooperative game, because I've never played a game where actually sailing a ship felt like you were working as a team to actually sail the ship. I mean, all the other games that I played recently, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it's just a one-man job. It's super easy to do. This game, they purposely made it complicated to really need teamwork, all right? And I did like that. I did enjoy that. But I'll be real with you guys. Outside of everything else, it's just, it's a bore. It's a grind. There's a lot of things in the game that are made to be tedious. Like, for example, you have a ship full of loot. You have 10 chests, 5 skulls, and some pigs you want to trade in, right? Well, can I just get a box and pour my skulls in? Or can I, loot up, put all my chests in my inventory and just go to the vendor and just unload them all? No. You have to manually pick up each item, walk it off your ship, over the dock, across the outpost, to the guild guy, and hand it to them. Why? Well, it's 2018. So now, instead of me just trading all the shit in that I did today, right, in my session of Sea of Thieves, I have to spend an extra 45 minutes going to and from the boat, to and from the boat, to and from the boat to fucking do it. It's so stupid and just bad game design and outdated game design, quite frankly. When you are trying to capture pigs and other animals, they require you to micromanage them, meaning you have to actually feed them food or else they completely disappear from the crates. Do they die and say, oh, you messed up, you didn't feed your animal, so the animal's dead now? No, you'll go back and the crate is empty. So what happened to me today, I had a mission, catch 2 pigs. So I had 2 pig pens, grabbed one, went off to the island, caught it, put it on my ship, grabbed the second pig pen, went out looking for the pig. Man, I can't find this pig. Finally find it, put it in the pen, go back to the pen, to the ship. The first pig has completely vanished. So then I feed the second pig a banana. Hopefully it'll stay alive now. I grab the first pig pen, which is now empty, go back to the island. A rainstorm starts. All right, let me hurry up. I find the pig, I grab it, I go back, my ship has sunk. And that all happened within 15 minutes. So within 15 minutes time, a pig died of starvation and my ship sunk. Huh? So the things that are in the game that actually are challenging aren't challenging. They're just tedious and annoying. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, my ship sinks after 5 seconds of being in a full-on rainstorm. What? On what planet does that happen? My pig starves after 2 minutes of being on the ship alone. Huh? So it almost behooves you to have a team of people. One person goes and catches the pigs, one person feeds the pigs, and one person's bailing the water out of the fucking ship, or else everything goes to holy hell. And really what it becomes is such a tedious micromanagement game that the things that were maybe intended to be challenging or fun just end up being annoying, and that's not a good thing. So, now let's talk. The actual mission types, right? Are they fun? Sure. The first 2-3 times you do them. Combat against the skeletons is pretty neat. But once you've seen every skeleton type, it's just the same thing over and over. And as I said, the combat is so incredibly simple. Just mash your trigger or fire your gun until you run out of ammo. That's it. I mean, there's no complexity to the combat. Oh, every once in a while I have to throw a bucket of water or pull out my lantern. That's not complexity. That's just, making it slightly more annoying to kill each enemy. But there's nothing to it. Elder Scrolls games that came out 15 years ago have far more complex first-person combat than Sea of Thieves. That's not a good thing. That just shows that they knew what they were doing 15 years ago, and the guys who made this game really didn't know what the hell was going on. Collecting animals, it's fun the first time, then once you've done it, it's boring. Same thing with the treasure chest. Oh, I found a treasure chest, I dug it up. It's easy to do. X marks the spot on your map. It's not hard to locate these treasure chests, and when you find them, oh, maybe I gotta kill a skeleton or two. It's very simple, it's incredibly repetitive, and in essence, the core gameplay of Sea of Thieves is sailing your ship, which could be fun for the first few times you do it until you realize it's, you know, with a team, it's easy, and it's doing just repetitive content over and over and over and over and over and over, and that's all they expect you to do. Now you may be saying, but wait a minute. Aren't there any NPC ships out that you can fight? Aren't there merchant ships you can take over and steal their loot? That would be pretty fun. No, none of that. The entire sea is open to only you and other human-controlled players. So there's nothing created in the game outside of the 3 guild missions and the strongholds. That's it. That's the entirety of the gameplay. So then you might say, oh, well, that would work at least if there's a lot of other humans, right? In the world, at least you're constantly maybe trying to escape. Maybe they're trying to steal each other's loot. That sounds really good. I played on Xbox One. In the 3 days that I played, over 10 hours of gameplay, all right? I only saw about 5 ships total. Twice I engaged in combat, both times I failed, but 5 ships total in 10 hours of gameplay. Today I played the game solo. I did my own little solos. They call it like a sloop or I forget what they call it. Some really weird name for this little ship. I didn't see a single other ship. It was just a huge empty open sea. Now, some people are, oh, maybe it's that version on console is just screwed up because on PC I see people encountering other people. I don't know. I don't care. I didn't make the game. All I know is my experience. I couldn't find anybody else. 95% of the time, there was no one else on the open sea, so it was just me doing the repetitive grinding style content, and that's all there was in the game. So I played the game 3 sessions, roughly 10 hours of gameplay, except for the Kraken, which I never happened to run into. I literally saw everything in the game. Now, for what I'm being to be told, if you keep playing the game and doing the incredibly repetitive side content, when you hit level 50 in every guild, and to give you some perspective, after 10 hours, I hit around level 10 in every guild. So think about that. To hit level 50, you probably got to play at, what, 50, 60, 70 hours of the same shit over and over. Apparently, when you hit level 50, then you can unlock some higher level missions. From what I understand, they're the same again, only they're slightly more challenging, okay? Pretty stupid. Now, you might say, well, wait a minute. Then what is the goal of the game? What is the end goal? What are you doing the game? What is the goal of the game? Just to do repetitive grinding. Because the gold, you might say, well, the gold in the game, you earn gold for these missions, right? What do you do with the gold? Well, you can buy, and I'm not exaggerating here, slightly different looking items, or you can buy equipment for your body to like clothing and stuff to make you look different. So you could buy a fancy eye patch, a nice coat, a blunderbuss that looks slightly different but actually doesn't change the damage or anything that it does. It's just a slightly different looking blunderbuss. It's all cosmetic. The only thing you can use gold for in this game is cosmetic purposes. So the whole point of the game is to bore yourself with boring repetitive content to buy cosmetic things for your ship and for your body. That's it. There's no end game of Sea of Thieves. There's no point to even doing it. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, Phil. Wait a minute. What about if you play it with friends? Perhaps. Maybe even if there's no story, there's no end game goal, maybe it's just a lot of fun to play it with your friends. I'll tell you, the 2 days that I did do co-op, it was pretty fun. But that's because in the 2 days that I played the game, I was still just doing the 3 kinds of missions, and I took over a stronghold, and I was basically seeing all the stuff for the first time. By the end of my second session, I had seen every kind of mission and taken over a stronghold. The only thing left was the Kraken. So outside of that, there was nothing else to do in the game. Now, maybe you're the kind of person who likes to buy a game like Destiny or a game like The Division or Ghost Recon Wildlands, and what you like to do is team up with 3 other people, and for you, the entertainment factor of the game isn't really the core game, but just being able to hang out with your friends in a game and have fun and shoot the shit, you know, and have this social aspect of the game. If that's the case, then maybe you'll like Sea of Thieves, all right? Maybe it's your kind of game. But for the common gamer who's looking for content that's going to be riveting, again, it's going to hook you, want you to keep playing for endgame content, there's none. There is nothing in Sea of Thieves. The whole game is the same 3 missions, strongholds, and the Kraken. That's it. Once you've seen it for playing for 10 hours, you've seen the entirety of the game except for superficial items you can buy for yourself, period. There's nothing else. And you know, oh, well, the game just launched. Maybe the game devs will add additional content. Sure, maybe they will. Maybe the game devs, Rare, will add tons of new content to the game over time and make it robust and great. Right now at launch, the game is incredibly bare bones. The game, honestly, quite frankly, feels like an early access game. It feels like this was an idea that they wanted to throw out to the public and say, what do you think? Can you give us suggestions for improvement? Things we can add to the game. And it's not. It's a full-on retail game that they're charging $60 for, when it feels like a completely unfinished early access kind of a game. Just some examples, minor things that could make the game better. When you're trading in your missions, be able to trade in multiple ones at once rather than go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Have some kind of an element of risk to dying in the game. If you die, there's actual consequences, right? Have something in the game that's like on patrol. The bottom line is pirates. There's the name of the game, Sea of Thieves. Because you're pirates, right? You steal stuff. What do you steal in Sea of Thieves? Well, buried treasure, you're not technically stealing. It's just there. You kill skeletons and take their skulls. You didn't steal anything there. The wild animals are wild. You're not even stealing anything in the fucking game. The whole name of the game, Sea of Thieves, has nothing to do with the actual game. You're not thieving anything. The things you're doing are just repetitive and boring content that would be side content in any other game. That's what you're doing. There's no patrol of police out there making sure you're not doing these things. You know what I mean? Imagine if there was like a British patrol ship that went through the world and you had to avoid it or fight it, and if you fought it, you earned tons of money and lots of loot or something like that. You don't even feel like an outlaw in this game. It feels like you're perfectly fine just doing the shit that you're doing because there's no element of risk. Just go out there and do whatever the fuck you want because it's the open seas and no one's out there to stop you. Now, again, if this sea were massively populated with a ridiculous amount of humans, okay, Sea of Thieves, you want to do the missions and hurry, trade in your shit because there's always someone who's trying to attack you and steal your mission rewards, right? All right, but that's not the experience I had. 3 days played on Xbox One, only found 5 fucking people in the entire world. That's not my fault. That's shame on Rare for releasing a game in that state. And some people have told me, well, I played the beta, and in the beta it was much better. That's nice. That's the beta. The beta was free. People paid to play this game and got a worse experience. That's their fault. Rare's fault. Not the consumer. The consumer shouldn't get an inferior version of the product, nor should the consumer have to sit around for 4 months until the servers finally solidify and they add more content and they make it work properly how it's supposed to. At its core and in its present state, Sea of Thieves is incredibly empty, incredibly boring. I hate to say this, folks, but this is true. Sea of Thieves has less content than No Man's Sky at launch. It's true. No Man's Sky, even as bare bones as No Man's Sky was, had core elements. Like there was a plot line where you would go to these hubs. Remember, you would find these mysterious eyeball-shaped things in space, and you would go from one to one. They would lead you through the galaxy until finally you would get to like the center of the universe. There was like a goal. There was something to aspire to and do in the game. Sea of Thieves doesn't even have that. It's literally just a busy work game. Waste your time until the game devs finally decide to put something in the game worth doing. It's just waste your time with friends. No Man's Sky had more and was more robust of a game at launch than this game is. So is it No Man's Sea? No, it's actually worse. It's actually a worse game than No Man's Sky was at launch. It actually is. The only thing the game has going for it is the pretty water visuals. That's about it. After the initial interest in, piloting a ship for real with a team of people for the first time, and after that wears off and you've done every mission type once, that's it. $60 for that is incredible. Now, here's the good news, folks, all right? Here's the good news, okay? If you have never become a member of the Microsoft Game Pass yet, there's a 14-day free trial. So what you can do, this is actually what I did. I joined the free trial 14 days. I got I almost said No Man's Sky. I got Sea of Thieves for free by having this Game Pass. I downloaded it on my Xbox One, played it for 3 days. I said, I don't want to play this game anymore. I've seen everything in 3 sessions. And I went on Xbox.com and I canceled the resubscription. So I'm not going to ever get charged for Microsoft Game Pass. It'll expire after 14 days. And I paid $0 to play Sea of Thieves. So if you absolutely must experience Sea of Thieves right now at launch, and you must be a part of this thing going on Twitch. It's so huge on Twitch. Everyone's playing it. I got to be a part of it. Sign up for Microsoft Game Pass. Play it for free. Cancel the subscription. Play it for 3 days. Get rid of it. because that's what I did, and that's the only thing I can recommend. I would never recommend that you would buy this game. At this point, I wouldn't even recommend it as a rental. There's too little to do. You could spend $5 on a game rental elsewhere on another game and get way more content out of it. There's just no reason to play this game whatsoever at launch. It's pathetic. And if they ever improve it over time, like they did with No Man's Sky, okay, then maybe I could, with an honest heart, kind of go back and say, okay, now it's worth it. But right now, don't play the game. Or if you absolutely must play it, get it for free with Microsoft Game Pass. Don't spend a single dime on Sea of Thieves. It is by far the most overhyped game I've played since Destiny 2. And by far the most disappointing game that I've played in years. Because Microsoft had this interesting premise. Actual cooperative gameplay to be a pirate. And they had all this potential. They could have had all these different kinds of enemies and missions. There could have been, like I said, risk reward. There could have been patrols. You have to take out NPCs. It could have been so good. And instead, they took the easy way out. Let's make a bare bones game at launch. Just see if people will buy it. And if they do, we'll add content afterward. But if not, oh, no skin off our back because we gave you a bare bones game and people ran out and bought it for $60. Is this what modern gaming has become? We buy early access versions of games for $60. And then if the game does well, then they'll put more effort into it. I mean, this is ridiculous. No Man's Sky and now Sea of Thieves are two of exactly the same scenario. I'm so happy I did not pay for this game. You have no idea. I would be furious if I had told you guys I paid $60 for this game in order to play it for the amount that I got out of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's my review score of No Man's Sky? Well, I said No Man's Sky again. See what I mean? I'm actually associating the two games directly in my head so much, I can't even say the right name of the game. What is my review score for Sea of Thieves? Well, technically, Sea of Thieves is functional. Everything that they intend to work in the game does work. However, it's bare bones. You run out of content in 10 hours or less. Co-op is pretty much required because playing the game solo is incredibly tedious and even worse than playing it with a team. Right now, some of the things are just designed so annoyingly, like having to manually bring every quest reward item into the docks. Just poorly made, poorly designed, and not streamlined or implemented well at all. Again, it feels like an early access game. Does it work? Yes. Is it fun? No. Is it worth playing for more than a few hours? No. Is it worth paying any money for? No. So with 1 yes and 3 no's, in good conscience, the most I can give No Man's Sky is a 4 out of 10. 4 out of fucking 10. This game stinks. It's one of the most overhyped, talked about games. Everyone playing on Twitch simply because of the hype. The game is terrible. Do not play this fucking game unless you get it for free with Xbox Game Pass. I might recommend if you don't have a team of people to play with, don't play it at all. It's not even worth wasting the Xbox Game Pass. Save that for later and get another game for free. Don't even bother playing this freaking game. It's a complete non-entity. If they don't improve it within the next 2 or 3 months, this will be a game you will not be able to find anyone in the game anymore because no one's going to keep playing it. There's nothing to do in the game. The first week or two are okay. After that, what am I supposed to do with this fucking game, right? 4 out of 10. Sea of Thieves, a huge disappointment. For me, the biggest disappointment so far in a while, in a couple of years. The most overhyped game by far in a long time. Don't play it. It's a piece of crap. All right, folks. That is my review of Sea of Thieves. I hope you liked it. Very honest, literally after just finishing playing it. And hopefully now this lets you know whether you should waste your time on this game or not. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later.